Hey everybody, I want to welcome you to another episode of the Other Side of the Story podcast, where we are bringing to you life-changing stories of inspiration, where people have gotten to today. But you know, it's always a backstory to a story, what got them there. And today we're so excited to have Jay McClendon with us, who really has a passion. You'll see or hear this in a minute, but I've never interviewed anybody like Jay because he's in the filmmaking, photography, digital content creator, really became known as Visual Artist Jay.
Yes, sir.
And from his passion was born that name, but then he created his own company, Creative Media Group.
Creative Media Group.
That's right, Brian. He's been doing this for the last 4 years full time. Started really in all this, man, like 10 years ago. So Jay, we welcome you to the podcast.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here, actually. When you called me, I was like, I ain't did a podcast in a minute.
Yeah.
We're here.
Yeah, because you're always behind the camera.
I'm
right?
always behind the camera. I'm the guy that shoots the podcast or shoots the commercials and, different things of that nature.
Yeah.
So it gets a little weird when I have to get on this side, but I'm pretty cool with you. So
yeah, right. Now, what I like about your story, because I think it really speaks to people, is that the passion you began with at a young age, because it really speaks to the people's lives where it's never too young to start a dream.
Yes, sir.
And what you're really passionate about.
Yes, sir.
So really, what triggered in your life the passion to start something with photography or filmmaking and media?
For me, so I used to do music.
Okay.
So growing up in like high school, middle school, high school, things of that nature, I used to sing.
Oh, I didn't know that about you.
Right. So I used to sing, rap, things of that nature.
Okay.
But I ended up we did a song in high school, and it was a guy in Macon. His name is Tay.
Okay.
And he shot our first music video. I hated it. I hated seeing myself on camera.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be on camera. I didn't like the aesthetics of it. I didn't like the way it looked. So and I realized he was making and the number might sound so crazy compared to today, but he was making like $50 for a music video.
Yeah.
I was like, I can make $50 for a music video. So I ended up asking my mom to buy me a camera my senior year in high school, and she got me one for Christmas. And I don't know, for some reason, I just knew that was like the last big gift I would get, because you're 18, you're finna get ready to go off to college, you're out of high school. So it's like, you're not going to get nothing too expensive anymore. You get what I'm saying? So I felt like that was my last big gift from my mother. So she bought me a camera, and I just took it and completely ran with it.
Yeah, so you started seeing the desire being doing the music videos and things. But at least at that time, man, you were starting to grind, starting to learn the process. But from
It's
that,
been a long process.
Yeah, exactly. Tell us how important it is you feel like, because your mom definitely believed in you to purchase that camera for you.
Right.
I think it's important that people believe in us, huh?
Right. So I've always told people my mom is my biggest fan.
Okay.
Even though she's passed away now,
Yeah.
I still feel like my mother is my biggest fan.
Yeah.
And everything I told her that I would go do, I made sure that I went and did it. Even down to college. I went to college. I went to Georgia Southern University. It was cool. If I'm being honest, I did terrible when I got down there, and I started partying and doing things of that nature. So I ended up moving back home to Macon once I found out my mom was sick. So when I moved back home, I moved with her. I went and got a job at Geico. That was the thing to do at the time.
Yeah.
Good money. So when I got a job at Geico, and I was going to school at the same time. And one thing my mother always told me was that school wasn't going anywhere. You got to eat.
Yeah.
You got to eat today.
Yeah.
That testing's not going to make sure you eat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So she always told me that. And I kind of took that as school is important, but you got to get what you need right now. So she always told me, like, if you got to slow down on school and make sure you focus to grow your money and do what you need to do at work, then do that first. You could take one class at a time.
Yeah.
And I kind of just took that and ran with it and was like, I'll just take no classes. How about that?
Yeah.
And I just focused on what I knew I wanted to do. I worked hard. I stacked my money. And I purchased new equipment until I got to the point where it was like, look, I'm going to just focus on this only.
So you were working a job, but yet at the same time, you knew that was just kind of provision for your vision, because your vision really wasn't Geico.
It wasn't Geico. Like I said, the money was just good at the time. Being 19 years old and you're making $16 an hour in 2014.
Yeah.
Like, that's good.
Yeah.
So, Geico wasn't the final vision. I only worked there 2 years.
Okay.
So after my mom passed away, it was like, okay, I can't focus on none of this.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried to go to work. They told me I came back to work too fast. And I just got to the point where it's like, I'll just quit.
Yeah.
You know, I'll just quit. And I was blessed with something that a lot of people may not be blessed with. My mom left me a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my brother, she left us a lump sum of money for us to maintain life until we figure things out.
Right.
So I took the money and I went back to school. Granted, I still failed.
Yeah.
I still flunked out of school.
Again.
I tried again.
That's right.
So, and from there, came back home. I moved with my brother for a moment. We had differences. He got me a job at Dish Network. I did it for 3 months, and it was still the same feeling. I don't want to work for anyone. I want to make it happen for myself.
Yeah.
And that's...
I think that's important, man, what you're saying, because a lot of times we do have to make provision. You got to have a job, but then at the same time you realize that's really not your purpose.
Right.
Right? So you realize nothing's really going to satisfy the passion you had for photography and filmmaking.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what do you see? Because I love taking pictures. Now, I know most people do. We see that
We know.
Yeah, we see that, right? On Instagram, everybody loves to use their phone and all that. So what did you start seeing behind the camera and all that really just birthed in you, like, I'm going to start a business eventually, but just the passion to see behind the camera, what you could create. Let me get that. Yeah.
To be honest, it started from money.
Okay.
Like I said, in high school, I would get $25, $50 to just shoot a video.
Yeah.
And at that time, it was so easy. But it was so easy because I didn't understand the craft and I didn't know what I was doing.
Right.
So I thought it was easy.
Yeah.
But I'm really just putting together terrible work.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So from there, I just started to connect with people that were doing what I knew I wanted to do.
That's good.
And I started to realize that it's going to take a lot more work. It's going to take a lot more studying, a lot more knowledge, investments, things of that nature in order for you to grow to the level that you're seeing these people at. So YouTube became my school.
That's good.
YouTube became my school, and just researching everything on the internet, and I just started making investments. Sometimes I buy things that I probably never even used.
Yeah.
I wasted a lot of money. I spent a lot of money that actually helped. So yeah, it was just mainly just understanding that it's not about, it got to the point where it wasn't about the money anymore. And once I realized that it was not about the money and I just focused on building the craft, the money came with it.
Yeah, I love that principle right there.
Yeah, the money literally came with it.
Yeah, because you started doing it again out of the love for something.
Yep.
Isn't that good?
Yep, it's
There's
amazing.
I always say there's a lot of people that go to a job on a Monday morning but really hate where they're going, hate driving to work.
And you're never going to get a promotion.
Yeah, and they just don't love what they're doing, but you started seeing that. I like the principle also that you as a self-learner.
Yep.
Yeah, so anybody can learn anything today.
I thought about Full Sail.
Yeah.
But then I would have been in debt.
Right.
Even more than the debt that I'm already in from Georgia Southern.
So you're teaching yourself on video. Yep. But that speaks against, everybody watching or listening, maybe not trying to go in the field you're in or in some area where they're trying to be, doing greater things. Being an entrepreneur like you are, starting a business is really a challenge. So, but it speaks to your mindset. Talk about the mentality for a minute of sticking with something when it gets hard.
You know the term, you got to be a dog.
Yeah.
Like you got to know what you want. You got to pray about it. You got to believe in God.
Yeah.
Know that He is going to guide you to where you want to be if it's in His will. But He gives you the desires of your heart if it's no, you know what I'm saying? You have to have good intentions behind it.
Right.
So I feel like my goals, my intentions were pure. And what I wanted was a dream that wasn't too much to ask. And I just feel like God blessed me along the way because I stuck with it. He saw how consistent I was about it. He just saw that I really wanted it. And it's also the fact that God knows where my passion started from.
Yeah, I like that.
And I feel like He kind of carried it. Like that's a part of me. I still have the camera that my mom bought me in high school. Yeah. And it sits right there on my desk every day. When I'm editing, I'm looking at it. I don't use it anymore. I could. I would probably have to go get it clean. It's like super dusty. Yeah. So I just feel like God just really saw my passion and saw that I was praying and I really wanted these things and worked so hard to get it that it was like I can give it to him because I know he's gonna do good with the results behind it. Yeah.
I like the things you're saying because I love talking to people about their story because it teaches me,
Right.
and it teaches people that are joining us today. 2 words that stand out to me is consistency and invest in yourself.
Yep.
That's what you started doing.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that because when you invest in yourself, you realize, man, this is the price I got to pay to make it successful. And the thing you said is so important. You got to work, man.
You gotta work.
You know, prayer's the foundation, God's the foundation, but
faith without work is dead.
I like it. Say it again.
Faith without work is dead.
It's dead. That's right.
sir.
So I encourage everybody today, you got a dream, you got a passion, but you got to work it.
Yes,
As
sir.
you started working, what started happening?
To
Just your influence or impact.
be honest, people just it's like I started to become somebody that I didn't realize I was becoming.
Okay.
A lot of people started to look up to me, especially in the area that we're in. It's like it was hard to break down barriers of being a creative in the Middle Georgia area if you wasn't tagging along with people that were already doing it. So it's like the people that are doing it big now are looking at me like, bro, how did you do it?
Yeah.
You know, we're hearing about you. We're this big company over here.
Yeah.
But you're little solo guy over there. So why are we competing with you? But it's always been my passion. I have a team. Of course, I have a team of people, but it's like they all do what they're delegated to do.
Yeah.
So I have graphic designer, other photographers and videographers. I don't have an editor yet. So a lot of times I get fussed at by my team because I don't let anybody edit my stuff.
Yeah.
But it's just because I know what I need, I know what I want,
Right.
and I don't want to waste your time. You might spend 4 or 5 hours putting a video together, but if it's not what I need, then it's gonna be like you wasted your time, and I don't want you to waste your time. I'd rather just go ahead and do it. Now I trust people to go out and shoot stuff for me. Like I said, my team, Lamar, BP came to church.
Yeah.
Kirsten, Miss Latrell,
Yeah.
even my girl Dana.
Yeah.
You know, she owns a wedding business. People used to call me to shoot weddings.
Yeah.
It's not my thing.
Yeah.
However, I can pass this to you and teach you how to shoot the weddings properly so that your business can grow.
Yeah.
And what they don't know is I'm still going to be the one there to help you shoot it.
Yeah.
So it works out.
Yeah.
You know, so that's just one of my main things, man. It's just, like you said, consistency, going straight forward, and me personally, I got to get better with trusting the people around me and trusting my team.
That's what I was going to say. I think for you and what you're talking about really speaks to a lot of us because a lot of times we hold on to things we feel like nobody can do it like me, which is true.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're growing people around you. Nobody can do something great by themselves. You got to have the right people around. That's what you're doing.
Of course.
So from what you birth out of your passion is creating opportunity for other people, huh?
Yes, sir.
That's good.
Yes, sir.
That's a great way to grow your business.
I haven't gotten it to where I want it to be yet, but I'm grateful for where it has come.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're into this thing, man. You're starting to grow. You're getting people around you. You're pouring into their life, and they're growing with you. What did you start seeing when it came to your impact, influence, spreading out beyond? Well, I like what you said, beyond your location, because I'm telling somebody today, don't let your location hinder your progress. So
Never.
What started happening about you spreading out all over the nation?
I'm trying to think the first place I went. I want to say the first time I got booked to go somewhere was actually through another guy that's a videographer, but he wanted me to come help him.
Yeah.
That was St. Louis. I went to St. Louis to shoot music videos.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy because I started in a I came from a certain place, Bishop.
Yeah.
So
that's good. That's
it's
right.
like
Your story, man.
Yeah, I've been around certain things that a lot of people wouldn't believe. And I kept using that to my advantage to, you know, if I have to be here, I'm gonna make the best of it. But I know this isn't my final destination. Right. So I got to the point where it's like I said, I went to St. Louis. We shot music videos. That was cool. You come back home, you get more music videos in the Atlanta area. of course, we've already covered Macon.
Yeah.
So been around Georgia. I've been booked to go to Miami. I have friends in Cali. I've done work in California, Texas. I've been to Tulum.
That's what you say. You've been overseas then.
Yeah, I just came back from El Salvador.
Yeah.
So these are people that are, what people don't know is these are people that are in Macon, Georgia, that know me personally already. But they want to go somewhere else to capture their content, but they don't want to book those people out there. They don't know them. They don't trust them.
Yeah.
So I'd rather spend the money to bring this guy with me. And I just think that speaks volumes because people can go anywhere and find a videographer. It's not hard to get on Instagram and do it.
Right.
But I think it's just me being me and being a genuine person, like I said, having pure intentions and always delivering to the best of my ability.
Yeah.
People trust me.
Yeah.
And they're okay with, hey, it's going to cost me a little bit, but hey, I would rather you come out here with me and do this. And that's how I started traveling around. It started in St. Louis.
Yeah.
And it went from there.
No, I like that. I like that because, again, it speaks again to me about being real and being yourself. I think people need to understand that. Just be who you are.
Yes, sir.
Of course, we've got to grow, but people need to see just being real, man, being reality of who you are.
Yes, sir.
Next thing, man, as far as your growth in that is like people trust you. So I like that aspect about your story is that all the things you talked about, starting with, now I just want everybody to hear this again because this is powerful, a passion at 18 years old, which you begin to realize that was your purpose. Then out of that passion and purpose, you birth, creative media group, right? Visual artist Jay.
Yes, sir.
So you begin being known because of things you're birthing out of your passion. So, man, I encourage people today, you got a passion, but you got to stay with it.
You got to stay
out
with
of your passion, things will be birthed.
Yes, sir.
That's what you start seeing happen, right?
Yes, sir. And I know I have a long way to go.
Yeah. Well, hey.
But I'm just...
It's a journey.
Like every day is a step closer. Every day is a step closer. And I feel like my ultimate goal is to spread the knowledge that I've gained to other people.
Yeah.
I started doing it on YouTube at one point, but I kind of got away from it.
Yeah.
Because it became a task trying to shoot my own stuff.
Yeah.
Then I got to shoot for clients. So it's like it's hard to juggle both. So I kind of like strayed away from YouTube. And I just focused on my clientele. I focused on helping other people grow because I know if they grow, I grow.
That's good.
And that's what I focused on. I've been working with Hope Church we started in 2022.
Yeah.
I think Jordan found me on Instagram or
Yeah,
Brittany.
he did.
Somebody, I think they found me on Instagram and I think they might have spoke to AD from Stoosa Kicks who kind of vouched for me.
Yeah.
And it's like from there we did our first project and I've been here at the church ever since.
Yeah. Which I'll say this too to people. Some of you might not know Hope Church, but it's in Warner Robins. But Jay started working with the church. My son again found you on Instagram. And does great video content. Great video content for the church. It's really powerful.
Yes, sir.
So I'm telling you, man, doors open when you continue to be consistent.
Yes, sir.
So talk about real quick, because I know, man, this generation's culture, it's just doing nothing but growing, right? People's wanting to be on social media, their influence on Instagram, YouTube. It's just a growing field of filmmaking, photography, and all that. So what do you see in all that, man? What do you see where that's going a little bit? Because it's really just powerful, right? A phone today, it's not really a phone, it's a camera.
Right. So, to be honest, I can't really say exactly where I see everything going. I will say I feel like things are becoming more minimalistic in terms of how you just said, like a phone is a camera now.
Yeah.
So it's like people like me are getting washed out.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we're getting washed out. We have to, in order for us to maintain, we have to cater to people that really need us and don't have the mindset of my phone can do it.
Yeah.
Because the people that are always saying my phone can do it, they'll never see the vision of making things go to the next level.
Okay, that's good.
So my phone can do it is cool. That looks cool. That's amazing. But the more people we have like that makes it hard for me.
Okay.
because they don't need my services anymore.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
So once you get people, once you can stray away from those type of people, and you get into Hope Church and law firm. So that's kind of what I feel like. If you really want to be a videographer or photographer, you have to grow to the point where you understand that you need a clientele that needs you.
That's good.
Not just the people that want to use you because it's cool.
Yeah.
No, they actually need your expertise.
Good, man.
So I think that's, for me personally, when it comes to media, we're going backwards. We're going to a more minimalistic style of getting stuff done. We're going to a more lazy way of doing things. But people like me, and other people, like I have a lot of peers, a lot of friends.
Right.
I have friends that are doing much better than I'm doing. And people don't believe it.
Yeah.
But it's like I have friends that are literally, like, you get on their Instagram, they have over 100,000 followers.
Yeah.
They make over $150,000, $200,000 a year.
Yeah.
These are my friends. These are my friends that I can call. You know what I'm saying? I haven't gotten there yet. But to have people that, you can look up to, you can communicate with, get advice from, that's one of the main things to help you get to the level that you want to get to. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to stay stuck in a place where you're surrounded by the small mind, the small town mentality.
Yes.
Small minded people that think, oh, my phone can do it, so he ain't worth it.
Yeah.
I don't want to be, that's not my target audience anymore.
Yeah.
Because I used to try to convince people that, hey, but as soon as somebody say that, then I already know their mind is made up. So, yeah.
No, I love that. There's so many things there, man. Let's
Right.
break it down for a second. So many things you're talking about is, again, the people who are watching, listening to this, it might not be the area of photography, but you meet a need, man. Your services are in demand. That's what you started doing, meeting a need.
Meet the need.
With businesses, real estate agents, whatever it is, but you started meeting a need with that. And then I love that concept, man, of understanding our mindset can really hinder us from growing, even as a business person you
Yes,
are.
sir.
You can't get stuck in a mentality of this is just it, right?
See, I went through a phase of, like we were talking about the phones, right?
Yeah.
I shoot a lot of stuff on my phone. There was a small phase where I did everything on my phone, though. Like, I put my camera down and just, if somebody called me, hey, I'm just going to come shoot it with my phone. But I only did that because I wanted money. I went back through a phase of just needing the money.
Yeah.
And if this client is not going to pay me the rates that I charge to bring
All the stuff.
stuff that I usually would, then I would just diminish myself and say, hey, well, if you only got $150, I'll come do it on my phone. But that's not my passion. That's not what I want. That doesn't represent my business, because these big production companies don't care about what you did on your phone. They want to see the big work. They want to see the great work that you're doing. If I was just shooting everything on my phone from the jump, Jordan wouldn't have seen the quality that I could provide for me to come and take Hope Church to the next level when it comes to content as well.
Yeah.
So I kind of realized that it's like, don't fall into the trap. Stay true to what you were trying to do, and it's gonna work out.
It's good.
And that's how it worked out for me. I came to church. I started paying tithes, and
Come on now.
I joined the church.
Yeah.
I've literally been in a place where I've made the most money I've ever made.
That's so good, man.
And that's not the bottom line. That's not exactly what I was trying to do, but that's just the reward that came.
I think that's the fruit of your commitment and things, right? But again, I love what you're saying, because stay true to yourself. Stay true to what you're, capable of doing. Because again, I just got to harp on this for a second, because it's so important, man, is that if you stop where you're at just because you want to maybe compromise what you really feel in you, you're not really grow and do greater things, because we all have greater things in us. I think that's a big hindrance sometimes, Jay, what you're saying, regardless of what field we're in, is we get limited by our territory,
yes, sir,
where we're at, get limited by other people. But, it's a common thread that's been moving through this podcast ever since we started in August. Every person I interview, talk to every guest, there's a common theme, man, and it's having people that's doing more than you're doing, mentors, and learning from them.
Everybody needs a mentor. physical person in your face to give you information and talk to you, but you're not talking about that person you've been watching on YouTube.
That's good.
And the person you've been researching on Google for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
That's technically your mentor.
Yeah.
You just don't want to say it.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying? So I literally used to watch a guy named Creative Ryan on YouTube, to the point where it's like I started going to Atlanta, and I would go to the place where he rented his camera gear from. And I met him one day. Like, he walked in while I was in there getting some camera gear, and it was like, "What's up, bro?" And we started chopping it up and talking, and we literally became cool from there. And we did a lot of work together.
That's
still
good.
one of my guys to this day.
Yeah, that's good, because again, I think it's important that we pursue what we want. We have to be the hunter, right? We got to go after it.
Yep.
And then when you do, you make those connections, man. Doors open.
That's how I made all my connections.
Yeah,
it's another guy. It's actually another guy in Atlanta. I reached out to him on Instagram about interning plenty of time. He always ignored me. I never said anything. And then it was one day I sent my last message. And I said, "Thank you for your time, bro. I really appreciate it." Even though I never got a response. That's what I told him.
Yeah.
He instantly responded.
That's good.
And literally called me up there to be his intern. I went up there. I met him. He had a nice studio area. He let me use it anytime I needed. I did work for him. I helped him make his content. So me doing that, not realizing, because I wasn't making money from it. It was just me trying to figure things out and learn from someone that I seen doing what I wanted to do. What happened with that was, I was in Atlanta one day. I stayed at my lady's house, and I woke up the next morning. Somebody stole everything out my car.
Oh my God.
Every piece of camera equipment I own.
Wow.
I don't know why I left it in the car in Atlanta. Like, I stopped working late that night, and I just didn't want to haul everything around. So I was just like, I'll be okay. I came to my car the next morning. Everything was gone. At that point, I called the cops to at least file a police report. 2 hours later, they called me back, and it was like, "Do you still need us?" I hung up the phone. And at that moment, it was like God told me, like, "You're going to be okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Everything will be replaced." I still went to go help this guy shoot his content that day, and I used his stuff. 2 weeks later, he gifted me a $2,000 camera.
It's amazing.
And from that point,
That's good.
that's when life just...
Yeah.
Because I could have just gave up after that. It's like, y'all stole my camera back. We're talking about $8,000 worth of stuff.
Wow.
Everything gone. I had clothes and shoes in the car. They took everything, because at that time, I technically didn't have a home. I was just all over the place.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, just me just not letting that situation take me out of my element and still going to do what I said I was going to do that day. That guy changed my life.
That's good.
Yeah.
You reap what you sow. You kept sowing, right?
Yes, sir.
You reap something really good.
Yes, sir.
I like that. Man, hear that again, people. Don't ever quit when you get discouraged or
Yes, sir.
things are taken from you. Just keep doing what you're doing. Be who you are. You know, I'll say this, and I'm going to ask you another question or two. One is that it hit me when you talk about mentors. If people, again, need to know this, because I do the same. You can have any mentor in life, no matter where they're at, because of technology, right? You know, YouTube teaches you and all those things. But the thought hit me is that professional athletes make millions and millions of dollars a year, bro. Been doing what they've been doing since they were a child. Still have coaches, right? Still have people that teach them things. And a baseball player, been doing this for years and years, all his life, but still have to go through spring training and learn how to catch a ground ball again. So that's an important lesson.
Of course.
Is that you can learn anything and never stop learning. I like it.
That's the key to never stop learning. You always got to learn something.
That's good.
You should wake up and figure out, even if you sat at home all day, just get on the internet and figure out something that you never knew.
Yes.
And that'll take you further than you ever thought it would.
And that's what you're showing, man. Proving. So tell us real quick about what you see the future for your life. I know we were talking before we started about possible studio and, you know, and making that people can come to and shoot content, because again, it's such a big growing industry. So what do you see Visual J doing, Creative Media Group?
Of course, the goal is studio. And I think with my studio, when it opens, because I know it's gonna open, with my studio, I want to provide something that prevents people in Middle Georgia and South Georgia from having to drive all the way to Atlanta.
Okay.
We already have a studio in Macon. It's called 3rd Street.
Mm-hmm.
I love them. They're great people.
Yeah.
They're very nice. They collab with me all the time. Like, I love them to death. Their studio, my studio would be a little bit different from theirs because I want to create a different environment when it comes to like different sets. Like, I want to have different rooms and different stuff for different people.
Yeah.
Not just one thing here. You know what I'm saying? So that's the ultimate goal. Like I said, I just want to bring something to the Middle Georgia area. Like, even people that come down and, you know how downtown in Macon, they have to build out. They might turn somebody's business into a store, or something like that. But they wouldn't have to do that if we had a place where it's already a storefront built. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because that's in Atlanta a lot. It's a big studio in Atlanta I recently went to. If you walk in there, you could shoot in so many different places. You would think that you went to 100 different spaces, but it's literally one space. Yeah. So I think that's something that I want to bring to Middle Georgia. I think that's my ultimate goal, and I think once I do that, I don't want to say that's the end, but I know that's my ultimate goal.
No, you're gonna do it.
Yeah,
I know you will. It's gonna bring great influence and people again to come, and because that's where it's at. People need something like that. Yeah. So you're meeting a need again.
Yeah, and I also just feel like me being who I am. And some people may call it cocky. I'm not a cocky person at all.
I call it confidence.
Cool. So, me being the person I am and confident as I am in the things that I do, I just pay attention to the people around me and the things that they tell me and the questions that they ask. A lot of times when I put out work, people want to know how it was created. So, if I'm putting out quality work and let's say we did a shoot in my studio, I created the studio, I created the set the way I wanted to create it, and these people are asking, well, where you shot that at? It's at my studio. Yeah. You know, and that's what makes it easy to sell. I think me doing my own stuff in my own space will drive the traffic for people to come because they're gonna want that same look. And to even add more to it, I would do workshops. I would do lighting workshops, editing workshops, things of that nature to bring in more traffic. I just told 3rd Street the same thing. Like, we all can do it. It's enough room for everybody. We don't have to, nobody has to step on anybody's toes. I don't like, friendly competition is cool, but I don't like to compete with the next person. Right. We can work together. And I feel like me being that way my whole life, if somebody has a question or want to know how I do something, I never hold back on them. I let them know. I tell them exactly how to do it. I give you all the game I got. It's good. Because I feel like that's where the blessing comes in, that you don't get blessed by holding everything from everybody else. Like, people look up to you. Help them. That's my thing.
Well, you just said a mouthful right there.
Yes, sir.
People need to get that.
Yes, sir.
That is so good. Jay, thank you so much for being on the podcast. We learned so much from you. And again, it's all the lessons you're teaching us, regardless of what field people are in. So I really encourage everybody to connect with this man, Creative Media Group, Visual Artist Jay, he is known as.
Yes, sir.
I promise you, whether you're at church, business, he's going to come and make your whole quality to another level. It's going to be great. Tell us how we can follow you or how people can get in touch with you.
Follow me on Instagram. Well, actually, all platforms at Visual Artist J. I have 3 pages on Instagram. So I have a photo page. I call it my photo gallery, even though I don't post in it much. I'm about to start back because I just got back into doing more photography as well. So that's visualartistj.photo. So that's my photo gallery. And of course, the company, Creative Media Group. Okay. So that's where you'll find all of the high-end corporate work, real estate, Hope Church, law firms, things of that nature. So if you're in that field of business, definitely follow that page. Yeah. And that's where the team will come in and make sure your vision comes to life.
And they can connect with you and get started with you. Yes, sir. Hey, you need to do it today.
Do it today.
Well, again, thank you for being on our podcast.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Hey, I know you can share this. Somebody needs to hear all this. Is great, valuable lessons that we've learned from Jay. So like it, subscribe, share it, and we'll see you next week.